Hello, and welcome to Advent Stretch and Flow with the theme of hope. I'm Sarah, and I will be guiding you through this class. If it's your first time on interval with the music, there's a slider on the bottom. To hear more music, slide it to the musical note. To hear less music, slide it to the microphone. As we begin, we're going to sit in a comfortable position, crisscross legs, or your legs can be butterfly, or you can follow along from a chair. Take a moment to close your eyes, breathing in through the nose, letting your belly relax. Exhaling through the nose or mouth. And I'm going to read our scripture for this class as you continue to breathe. In through the nose, out through the nose or mouth. From Psalms 130, verses 5 through 8. I wait for the Lord. My whole being waits, and in his word I put my hope. I wait for the Lord more than a watchman wait for the morning, more than a watchman wait for the morning. Israel, put your hope in the Lord, for with the Lord is unfailing love, and with him is full redemption. He himself will redeem Israel from all their sins. As we move through this class with our bodies, let's remind our spirit to put our hope even today in the Lord. And if with your next inhale, let's just shrug our shoulders up to the ears and roll them down and back. One more nice little shoulder shrug just to get going. Give yourself a little wiggle. We're going to start with one of my favorite side bend series is here. We're going to take your right arm up. And we're going to exhale right over to the side this way. Now as you do that, be careful that this other hip doesn't roll up off the mat or off your chair, especially if you're sitting in a chair. We'll take the left arm up and side bend. Don't worry if you can't go that far yet. It's our first side bend. Inhale, exhale, side bend to the first side. As you run out of air, keep breathing in and out. Now this top arm, what I call a spiral is what we're going to do here. We're going to kind of spiral down to face the floor. You can go a little ways, or you can even drop that arm if that's comfortable. If you're less flexible, totally fine to be up here. Got it in you. You can really reach. And then we're going to backtrack to the screen. Other side. Adding on our spiral. Backtracking. And we have one more section to add on here. Side bend. Spiral down. This arm is reaching towards the floor. If it's not towards the floor, you're going to get it there. We're going to walk our hands to the center. Now, again, we can kind of stretch more up if we need to. Or we can really stretch forward and relax into that fold if we have that capability. Walk your hands in. Take them right behind your hips. Lift this chest bone up, up, up. Relax. Give yourself a little wiggle. Now, look at if you're sitting crisscross with me. If you're sitting butterfly or in a chair, don't just ignore this. We're going to flip-flop our legs so that we can even out our hip stretch. All right, and we start the whole series over the other side. Left arm up, side bend. Breathe it up. Other side. You keep your head forward. You can look up if that's comfortable. You can look down. Breathe in. Side bend. Top arm, rotate down. Backtrack. Other side, same thing. Side bend. Spiral down. Get that spine warmed up. Backtrack. Now, remember the last part we added on? Side bend. Spiral. Walk your hands to the middle. Enjoy that forward fold. No matter how big or small it may be. Walk your hands in. Take them behind. Lift your sternum up, up, up. Recover. And let's take some torso circles here. So just circle through your ribs around. Think of bouncing on your tailbone and kind of like a top. Going around, we'll go the other way. You can keep your spine straight. Or if it feels better, you can curve and bend and wiggle through these circles. It's up to you. All right, shake out our legs. We're going to be moving on our hands and knees for today. So you can still follow these motions of the back if you're sitting in a chair following along. So here we are. Knees underneath your hips, hands under your shoulders. A little bit of a cat-cow. Exhale, dropping your head and tailbone. Inhale, lift the head and tailbone. So just follow the cat-cow spine if you're seated. Let's take one more cat-cow. And then we're going to have a nice little stretch for our wrists. We tend to forget about our hands and our wrists. And they do a lot for us all day, especially if we're on a device a lot. So shake out one wrist. This is my right wrist. I'm going to shake, shake, shake. I'm going to take the top of my hand, flip it onto the floor, the mat. And you can do this on your lap if you're sitting on a chair. Gently, don't put all your weight on it. Gently put some weight. And maybe experimenting, shifting your hips forward and back. Yeah, that stretch though. When we get a deep stretch and it gets tense, we tend to hold our breath. Let's not hold our breath. Let's breathe in and breathe out. Shake that hand out. One more stretch for this side. Palm on the floor again, but fingertips turn back to face your knee. Breathe. Again, you can shift a little bit around, forward, back, side to side. And we'll release. We're going to shift back. Let the weight get off of our shoulders and chest a little bit. Wiggle, wiggle. Come back to our hands and knees. Other side. Give it a shake first. So top of our hand flips onto the mat. Don't need a lot of weight into that hand probably. And then we'll give it a little shake. We'll flip the other way. Palm on the floor. Rotate your fingertips back towards your knees. Breathe in. Breathe out. Maybe shifting a little bit. All right, shake the hand out. Shift those hips back. Let's do a little child's pose again. And if you like, you can bend from your elbows and just shake those hands, rotate your wrists. Nice, good release. I'm going to come back up to hands and knees. And do side cat pose. So my head and my tailbone are going to bend the same direction like a letter C, and then the opposite C, or backward C. So side to side, I'm just keeping my head looking straight down at the mat today. Side bend one more time, each direction. Now I have one more nice stretch for us here. Getting into our shoulders. We're going to reach the right arm out, up and back. Now see, the first time I kept my head looking down. That is one option. If the full arm circles too much, bend your elbow and just circle the elbow. If we need more, we're going to circle the full arm and we're going to follow it with our gaze up, back, and around. We're doing 4 of these. So that's the last one of this arm. Whether you had the arm or the elbow out, you're going to weave it underneath for thread the needle. Drop that shoulder to the mat, turning the right side of the face onto the floor. This back hand here, I've turned my fingertips to face the right hand, right side of my mat. This is as far as we're going, just the beginning of thread the needle. And slowly backtrack. Fix anything you need to fix. Other side. So option 1, just a little elbow circle. Option 2, arm circle, head stays down. Option 3, fingertips reach and we follow with our eyes. One more time. Now you can see on the other side, but this supporting hand, I'm going to rotate the fingertips towards the left side and then weave that arm underneath. Left side of my face and my ear on the floor. Let that tailbone reach high. Belly breath. And backtrack. Oh, perfect timing. That was our 10 minutes of stretching. All right, so we're going to get off of our knees. And we're going to actually roll down onto the mat. So whichever way you want to get down onto your back, you can go under your side or straight down like I did. Take a minute to get comfortable. Shake those legs. Let's take your fist and place it between your knees to make sure our legs are about sit bone distance apart. And we'll reset for 10 minutes of Pilates. We're going to take our palms onto our pelvic bones and our fingertips facing towards the pubic bone and just feel the pelvis rock. This is a pelvic bowl. Scoop the tummy under and the pelvis under. Inhale, shift it forward. Again, this is like cat-cow. Pilates section will be a little trickier to follow along if you're seated in a chair, but you can. Exhale, inhale. Notice that point where it's balanced in between. That's why our hands on our hips here. Kind of tell when it's tucked, when it's balanced, when it's arched. So pull back into a balance point. That bowl of water is not spilling anywhere right here. Okay? A couple of knee folds. Just to start to activate your lower abdominals. You can keep your hands here or take them to the mat. Trying to get a 90-degree bend. We'll march. Let's take one more knee fold on each side. We'll do the quarter roll up. So we're going to reach our arms up to the ceiling, past the ceiling, towards our ears, not all the way back to the floor, okay? Keep your tummy zipped together. Inhale. Exhale, fingertips up. Peel up your head, chest, and shoulders, just reaching this little upper back part off the bed towards our knees. And exhale. We're doing 4 of these quarter roll-ups. Wake up those abs. Try to keep the hips neutral. Now that is unless you are repairing some abdominal separation and then you do want to press your back flat to help heal that together. That's a whole nother ballgame. Now we're going to go into the hundreds. Exhale, quarter roll up, but bring your arms to float next to you above the mat. And then we're going to sniff in and out. Breathe in, breathe out. Or smooth breath. You can take one hand behind the head if you need to. If you're doing that, switch it up every couple of times. Over halfway done. You can also rest back down. And then bring it up again. All right. And then we'll lower down. Shake your head out a little bit side to side. Make sure we don't have tension in the neck. Let's go ahead and pull our knees in. Circle them around. So we're just relaxing our lower back for a moment. We are going to work on a little bit of a tailbone lift. This is a pre-movement to a roll over. Not doing a roll over today, but take your legs back to tabletop, arms by your side. Actually, I lied. Bend your knees, pull them in. We're going to be pulling our knees in as much as we can with our stomach muscles and then letting the knees come back. So pulling in, feel a little squeeze going on in your core. And then we're going to start to kind of add just a teensy bit. I hate to use the word momentum, but just a little bit of momentum and push to lift and tuck that tailbone. Remember that tuck feeling we had in our cat-cow, in the cat back? That's what we're getting here. 2 more times. A little exhale, tuck, push to roll the tailbone up. Now, don't worry if yours isn't going anywhere. Just the action, trying to activate your lower abs is enough to start with. Okay. From there, let's go into the single leg stretch. So, option for head down. Exhale, lift your head. If you know you can hold it up there without tension in the neck, pull one knee and the other leg is going to stretch upwards, or it can reach outwards. The lower you go, of course, the more advanced we are here. Fingertips on the shin. I am using a little double pull here. If you prefer just a single push, or if you prefer to keep the legs more at 90 degrees. These are all just different various options. One more. Pull those knees in. Relax the head. Shake it out. Now we're going to go into the double leg stretch. So I'm going to show the easier version first with our head down. Inhale, reach the toes to the ceiling, arms by the ears. Circle the arms around. Pull it in. There's that pull with your abs, but we're not lifting the tailbone this time. Inhale. Exhale. Stay there or add your head. Exhale up. Inhale. Exhale. Stay there or reach your legs further on the diagonal. Again, you decide how far. Make sure the arms are not going too far open. We're going to do 2 more today. Inhale. Eventually, you're down there nice and low. Lower down. Shake out your head and shoulders. Now let's pull our knees towards us and then open them towards the opposite shoulders and circle around. All right, another little relaxation for our hips there. We're going to work on hip circles and hip stretches in class 3 and 4 a little more, but for today, for us, we're going to roll over to one side. We are going to get a side series in. In class number 1, which was about, what was class number 1? Peace. Class number 1, we had a little back series. Here we have, now like a side series. So on our side, line up like you're in a line against the wall. Bring your feet at least 6 inches forward. We're going to actually bend the bottom knee for a little extra support. If you don't need to do that, you can keep it straight. This upper body, I'll let you put your head in your hands, but here we want to lift up. See the space I got under my ribs? You can roll a towel, put a ball, put a pillow under there to help you remember to lift. But we don't want to be slouched like we're just relaxing watching TV, all right? So engage your side, top hip, right over the bottom hip. Are you ready? Lift the leg to hip height, flex the foot. We're going to start with the classic kick, kick front, point back. Exhale, breathe. Inhale, stretch. Exhale. Going straight. We're not dipping this leg. We're not slouching here, are we? All right. Now as we come back in the middle, if you feel like, oh my gosh, I'm so tense, you can relax for a moment and then engage yourself again. Check your alignment. Let's flex the foot. We're going to turn out and turn in. Just check in with that rotation of the leg. Ooh. And then leaving your leg turned out, we're going to point it, carry it up to the sky and down. Keep yourself lifted here. Don't let the leg make you. Last thing, point your toe, keep it turned out. Take it slightly behind so you feel your glute activate. Tiny circles. Breathe. And reverse. All right. Bring that leg in. If your other leg wasn't bent, bend it. Relax. We're going to actually push ourselves up. Little tiny mermaid stretch as we go to the other side. Okay, other side. Now, I'm going to try this with the microphone in my pocket there. Just kidding. You'll get set up on your side. Bend that bottom knee if you need to. Keep it straight. And top hip right over the bottom hip. Lift your ribs. Flex and kick. Point back. Kick, kick. Point. Do one more. If you've lost your energy here, relax and then engage again. Turn out your leg. Point up. Flex down. This top arm should be supporting you until you get to the point that you are steady enough that you can release it here or here. I'm going to do one more. And then keep it flexed. Turn it in and out. In and out. Sorry, my timer says we've done 10 minutes of Pilates already. Well, obviously we're going to finish. Keep it turned out, pointed. Bring it slightly behind you. Little circles. And reverse your circles. Rest it down. Okay. Walk your hands up. Stretch up and over. All right, good. Let's go ahead and go down onto our back. We'll take one little moment of a hip stretch before getting into our meditation. Cross one ankle over the other. We're going to do the upside down pigeon or pretzel stretch. Reach your hands through the hole. Breathe in. Exhale. Hold closer if you can. You can even start to close your eyes here. Do pigeon stretch. And we're going to go back to our little meditation word of hope for this week. You can slide your legs side to side like I'm doing if that feels good. So there's two different words in the Old Testament that mean hope. Just relax that leg. I'm not going to try to say the Hebrew version because I can't pronounce it very well, but basically, other side. They both mean to wait. One means more to wait. Oh, lift up that pretzel stretch. Whew. Breathe. And the other one means to wait, but with a state of tension, like when you're pulling a cord and you're pulling and pulling, and it's getting tighter and tighter and you're waiting for the release. Right? Exhale. But the word is used, as it's used in the New Testament, is meaning more of a living hope that we know the tension is going to be released. It has been released, but we're waiting for that full moment when we are fully redeemed. It's coming. So then as we release the tension that we just built up in our stretch here, let's stretch our legs down, give them a little shake. Get back on your mat if you're off like me. Palms up. Closing your eyes, letting your belly inhale. And as we breathe through these next few moments of relaxation and meditation, a couple of things I want you to do. If you find it hard to relax your belly, take one hand or both hands to your belly and just feel and see if you can feel it inhale more. Feel it rise and inflate. You can also take one hand to your chest and just notice, is your belly rising first, or is your chest trying to rise? Taking a shallow chest breath instead. We don't want that. We want the belly hand to rise first, and then the chest hand may rise a little bit, and then the chest hand lowers first, and the belly hand second. Keep breathing. Now I'm going to read for us again Psalms 130, verses 5 through 8. I wait for the Lord. My whole being waits, and in his word I put my hope. I wait for the Lord. More than the watchmen wait for the morning. More than the watchmen wait for the morning. Israel, put your hope, put that tension, that waiting, that living hope in the Lord. For the Lord is unfailing love, and with him is full redemption. He himself will redeem Israel from all their sins. And as you keep resting, whatever position you're in that's comfortable, if it's comfortable to you, follow along. I'm going to guide you through a little relaxation breath. When you're ready on your next inhale, see if you can breathe it in for about a count of 4 seconds. In, 2, 3, 4. We're going to actually pause and hold it just for about 2 counts. And then we're going to exhale for 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. And we're going to pause at the bottom for 2. We're going to repeat in, 3, 4, hold. Release 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Pause if you can at the bottom. If that's too much, you can go right into your next inhale. Belly inhale, hold. Breathing out 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Hold at the bottom. Keep breathing this way, and if it works for you, this is a little bit of a breath pattern that cues our parasympathetic nervous system. Gets us out of that tension place and really triggers calm and relaxation. An exhale that's longer than our inhale. Just automatically gets our body into relax mode. Do that again. Breathing out. Keeping yourself. Just keep breathing comfortably. You don't have to think about the counts. And when you're inhaling or exhaling, you can let your breath just be soft, gentle. I'm going to take just one more moment here. Every exhale is letting yourself melt. Let the tension, anxiousness, worry, stress melt through your body to the back, to the floor. Let it just be washed away. Our inhales bring us back to our hope. And Lord Jesus, you're welcome to stay and rest on your mat as long as you like. If you're ready now, or when you're ready, you'll just wiggle your fingers and toes. Shrug your shoulders, maybe roll your head a little side to side. And bring yourself easily onto one side, pushing yourself up with your hands. Watering your eyes open. Thank you for joining me for this Advent Stretching Flow class.